Welcome back to Nuke the Moon, our channel. Merry Christmas. Welcome to our escapist Christmas this year. Today is the day after my oldest daughter's birthday, and I am just Christmas crazy this year. So I found this recipe in an old magazine I inherited. Oh yeah. And we're making it for her birthday. She's dairy and lactose intolerant, and I'm a vegetarian, but we're gonna do it. So this recipe looks pretty awesome. It's gonna call for the jellos, which bones and hooves, definitely not vegetarian. Cake box mix for the win, and a lot of time. So we're just gonna start the first phase of this and make the cakes. Also, with everything I've inherited, and as much as I love to bake, I don't actually have two matching round cake pans. I usually make bundt cakes. I don't layer cakes most of the time. So since this is very obviously a layered cake, we're going to use these guys because they're approximately the same size. And you know what? Use what you have in this world. I'm not going to need the jello for now. What I do need is a mixing bowl for now. And we're just going to follow this box. Super moist. We're going for full fat as well, so we're going to use whole eggs, we're going to use oil, and we're going to use milk instead of water in our recipe. I've already got my oven preheated. Always preheat your oven, and always read your recipes before you start. So read it once, then read it again, then start your recipe. So it's been a rough year for us as a family, sort of from December to December, sort of literally a year. It's been a lot. I lost my grandmother in January, and we inherited a bunch of old cookbooks and magazines and things she had saved, and because she was an amazing woman, she kept everything in this sort of immaculate condition from the 20s, going all the way up to modern time. So we found this torn out of a magazine rainbow jello cake, and I had to do it. It had to get done. So we're gonna do it. Okay. Bum ba da da. 1, 2, 3 eggs. And we're gonna add those first. Mostly because you use the same measuring cup, and then your other liquids will rinse this out. So we'll start with eggs. We'll put oil in here next, and then last we'll do our milk in here, and that should get all the eggs and oil into our cake. Oil helps your cake stay really nice and moist. Another little trick, we're just going to use the cake box for our eggshells so we don't get egg yolk everywhere. Eggs help it rise, and they of course give it a really nice richness. Another trick, crack your eggs into a nice clear container before you use them. It's going to make sure that there's nothing in them that you don't want in there, and that they look like perfectly lovely, good eggs. Now before I put these in, I'm going to give them a quick mix, just so they incorporate better. I really doubt most of you need help like making a cake box mix, but you never know. I don't know if a lot of people make cakes out of boxes anymore. We're going to add the oil in first, 1/3 of a cup, because then the milk's going to help rinse out our measuring cup and make sure everything gets in there. There we go. Don't care. And this is going to help our cake stay really nice and moist. And it's going to call for 1 1/4 cups of milk. Swirl, dump. That can go over here. And then we mix for 2 minutes. You can do this in a blender, you can do this with a hand mixer, you can do a stand mixer, but today I thought I would just go old school and mix this by hand. So we're gonna Julia Childs this shit. Christmas, 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 Christmas time. You know what I miss, guys? I mean, I'm getting older. I'm mid-40s, but I miss that Christmas used to feel a lot creepier. You know, like it used to be Yuletide, and there used to be fire and scary stories and mulled wine and cider and it, you know, even murmurs. I don't know if you guys get that, but here in the Maritimes we have people who dress up and go singing door to door for treats and money, and they are kind of creepy too. Kind of miss that. Our cake tins. And then these are already greased. Sometimes I'll sprinkle sugar in there just to give it a crust on your cake. I've just greased these up and I'm just going to try and equally divide this. I'm counting these as non-stick pans, so we're going to put them in a 325 oven for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to check them at 20. And I've been baking for a long time now. I'm really excited to get this Jell-O in and see how it works out, so it's going to be fun. I love making new things. I love making things I've never made before, and I love using old-fashioned things or older things. I think we have a tendency as a society to misplace our knowledge, so I really enjoy these sort of domestic things and learning these skills and passing them on, because otherwise they're getting lost to time. And I like putting them on YouTube for you guys to see. That's it, we're putting these in the oven. They're gonna go in for 20 minutes. See you soon. Hello, to catch everybody up on this. These, as you can see, were most definitely a fail. We're gonna do take two after we've bought two matching cake pans and not wasted time using casserole dishes. Okay. All right. Even a white Christmas should have a rainbow. So we are moving on to the Jell-O portion of this recipe. So I've got the kettle boiling. Calls for 1 cup boiling water. You're gonna poke the cakes, perforate them, and we're gonna spoon this over. A cup of this water for my first pack of Jell-O. I'm actually gonna do 1 Jell-O at a time. Let's do our first cake. Yeah. Top side up. Utility fork. About a 1/2 inch apart. It smells so good in here, like birthday cake. So that's wonderful. And you know, for Christmas time, you're sort of used to it being cinnamony and nutmeg and gingerbready, so it's kind of a nice change to have a birthday cake smell. And let's just have a quick look at a recipe. It says to carefully spoon the Jell-O over the cake. That's done. So let us get our second Jell-O made. So, carefully spooning our Jell-O over. We're gonna stick this in the fridge afterwards. We're gonna let it set up for 3 to 4 hours, and then we're going to ice it and decorate it with whipped cream and jujubes. Okay, we're gonna set these up in the fridge and we're gonna get back. Hi, we're back with the icing portion of our cake. The recipe calls for Cool Whip, but we are going to use real whipped cream. All right, so we're back. We've iced our cake. We're going to add the gummies we've rolled out to make our holly and our berries. We're gonna cut this bad boy open and see how it turned out. This has been quite the process. It has been a journey, and we are almost at its end. There we go, getting our little holly leaves on here. And we'll see. I'm really curious to see how this turned out inside. I'm going to show you guys the picture before I cut it open. We are going to decide if this was a success or fail. Subscribe and like this video. Leave a comment. Thank you.